Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about disentangling your current reality to reverse engineer and figure out where things are, why they are that way, and how to go in and create exactly what you want to in order to get exactly what you want. So this is perfect for people who are trying to figure out why their life is the way that it is, what to do about it, so you can have what you want. So first of all, if you have never been here before, this channel is built for the laser targeted systematic techniques on how to manifest exactly what you want. It's essentially manifesting untangled or removed from tradition in its essence. And so definitely like this video so that it does something to the algorithm from which people who would not be able to see this video normally will be able to see it. And subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can get more videos like this because I release them very frequently. So let's just jump right into it then. So the concept is that this world is a totality of all of the manifestations up to this point, and it's also in the middle leading up to some manifestation. So the world is in a constant flux, and it's your experience particularly is set into motion by various seeds planted in your subconscious. Now that means that this world is behind the scenes in some miraculous fashion in awareness. Things are growing and dying, growing and dying. Some manifestations are continuously producing seeds. Some of them have happened and then will never happen again. And so the best way to look at this is essentially a world in flux, but the world is in flux according to your mind. So there's an idea that if we change our mood, then we'll change our world. And in essence, there's an aspect of this that is true. But if we look at it more closely, what we can find is that there are specific portions of our belief systems, feelings, judgments, moods that are, some of them are in conflict with one another. Some of them we don't even want, and others we do want, or others we want to create. But each of these all together are intricately and interconnectedly keeping this world in order, keeping this world as you see it right now. And so what I want to talk about is reverse engineering this world and then replacing seeds so that we can build a world that we actually want. So when I first started learning about manifesting, there was various topics, elusive topics that made some sense at first glance, but at further scrutiny actually needed more scrutiny because it didn't make any sense. And so one of those topics is the fact that if we simply are happy, then the world will completely change and give us things to be happy about. And so like I said, there's an essence of that, it is true, but there's a there's a much more intricate definition, or it may seem intricate, but when we realize this, it's kind of shocking. And it's that it's not just one feeling overlaying everything that will create the world, that will keep everything in motion. No, they are individual seeds planted and growing continuously. Now, these seeds have been impressed on your subconscious mind through your own will, your own judgment. So no one can force anyone to plant a seed. Now, of course, it's not a blame thing. It's like when we're younger, we accept things that people are saying, and some of our mindsets and therefore our entire life can be shaped by something we've accepted from another that should not have been accepted. And a lot of this can have to do with doubt, insecurity, jealousy, scarcity, competition. The list can go on and on. It affects relationships, money, health, happiness, the entire way that we live the world, right? Because this world is a sum total of all the stuff in our mind. And so to reverse engineer, and I'll jump right into that, is to look at your current state of affairs, right? So the theory is this, and this theory is easily provable, and I'm going to tell you how, is that each individual belief in us is shaping some aspect of the world. So the world itself is a sum total of all these different things connected, but it's not that they're all happening at the same time, because every seed that's planted in our subconscious mind will manifest outward. So there's some seeds that are still growing. There's some that have never been planted. There's some that have already grown and are continuously growing. And so we have to look at different aspects of our life, different aspects of our existence to really take a deep dive and see what it is that we can do to change this world to fit our outcomes. So it's all possible. Everything is possible. There's no limits to what we can imagine and what the world can conform to. And in fact, the way that this world is working right now is that everything is in a balance. It's in a balance, but it's already a pure manifestation of your mind. So you don't have to learn anything new. In essence, you don't have to pick up any new traits. You don't have to drink any special drink. You don't have to meditate for 37 hours. None of that's necessary. That's all added tradition, speculation as to how to enhance manifesting. But we are creation at our essence. We are this creator at our essence. And so in essence, adding things will actually reduce our ability to manifest. It will obscure our ability to manifest. But when we simply go to the source, which is not worrying about anything in this external world and simply imagining the thing that we want, that's the quickest, fastest, easiest, most effective way to build a perfect, strong, long-lasting, durable future, a durable life, a life that you enjoy, something that cannot be dug up, something that cannot be destroyed. And so we go straight to the source in our imagination that is directly awareness. That is the pure awareness, which is what we all are existing in right now. And if we are that awareness, which we are, if you are aware, then you are awareness. And if you are aware, then you have those same creative powers as awareness. And therefore you can create just as effectively without anything else. No worry of feeling happy, sad, whatever. The whole idea is to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled temporarily, just while you're in it, just while you're imagining it. Now, so we get to the point of reverse engineering. We find our current state of affairs. Say we look at our relationships. We say, okay, what's been happening? What's been the good? What's been the bad? We could say the good things is that I seem to find beautiful or handsome partners. We could say my relationships tend to be long lasting, but perhaps some of the negative things are every once in a while someone cheated on me, or I can't even find someone to begin with, or sometimes I get into people that are not available at the time, and so it perpetuates that way, or even sometimes I find myself into love triangles, right? So if those ring true to you, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what we have to analyze. Another aspect, say money, it's for instance, it's something like the good would be I can receive large sums of money, or I find my work very enjoyable. But on the negative side, some things that could be true are I have a hard time holding on to money, or I have to work very hard. So we look at our reality, and we're looking for what has been going on, and we take those and we can reverse engineer those, because the root of those are a belief. And if we can remove those roots, then we can effectively change the entire way that the world works, one thing at a time. Now, again, what I'm trying to say here is we're not technically blanketing it all with one thing and saying, okay, I'm going to feel good and this is all going to manifest. Because manifesting itself isn't only done through feeling. It's done through every aspect of awareness, including thoughts, moods. All of these things are accepted into the awareness, which is an infinite, intelligently, profoundly powerful being that refracts and displays this world to us. And so from within this awareness, there's absolutely no limits. And the way that we commune, since we are this being at essence, we simply, all we have to do is think, feel, do, believe, assume, and we are effectively communing and manifesting outward. So we found these beliefs. We found the good ones. We found the bad ones. What's the next step? So what we do here is we apply a system. The system is we find the bad thing, and then we reverse it into the opposite, better thing. So for instance, if there was a belief that I get caught up in love triangles, then perhaps a belief would be, I am always in relationships with people who are ready, monogamous, and loyal. So that would be a belief that would counteract. And now perhaps that was not full, perhaps you can think of a better one, but the idea is to do that. And sometimes we'll think of 3, 4, or 5 of them just to counteract one. So it could be every person that I date is loyal, every person that I date is monogamous, every person that I date is ready for a relationship. I'm in a mutual relationship with anyone that I'm in a relationship with. So if you can see, what I've done is I've taken the opposite of the negative, and then the point here is to impress that on the subconscious mind. Now, even writing down the positive new assumption or belief, that can impress it on the subconscious mind if we have been present in writing it down. Now, it's always important to note that we write it down in the I am tense or I have tense. Nothing exists in the future, nothing exists in the past. In Exodus, God says his name is I am. That's the way to manifest. That's why affirmations are shaped that way. So we use statements like that. So if you wrote down, I am always in an amazing, committed, loyal relationship with both partners ready and willing to commit to each other and have committed to each other, then that's an I am statement. To take this a step further, I would go into the conversation. What's a conversation? In the mind, bring someone forth whom you trust and have them say to you, wow, you're always in a loyal, committed relationship. You always have these loyal, committed relationships. And then you respond by saying, that's so true. I am always in a loyal, committed relationship. And so as you can see, it's just almost like mimicking the person. But if we can do this and then iterate it over and over and over until we can kind of get present in that scene, that will effectively plant a seed and that will then manifest outward. Now we repeat this process over and over and over again. We take a look at the world, everything that we don't like, the things that bother us, the reactions that we have. We kind of make a note of them. We don't have to solidify them by writing an elaborate essay upon these negative things, but just to jot down very pithy what they are so that we can take the opposite and then impress that in our subconscious mind. And so what's the best way to impress the subconscious mind? The best number one way to do this is while in a state akin to sleep. And now there's a little bit of ambiguity as to what this term means, as I've come to find out. So I'll go over this in probably the next video, but the state akin to sleep is a actual layer of awareness that's between sleep and between being awake. So there's a time when you're almost asleep and you catch yourself as you're falling asleep, and then anything that you imagine comes bright and vivid. Now, when you're there, your imagination is easily directed and commanded. And so you can easily then imagine these things and impress them on the subconscious mind. The best time to imagine is at night because the awareness, our consciousness is reduced to a minimum. And that's almost, sometimes I'm like that anyway during the day. That is the best time that's like guaranteed to essentially impress on the subconscious mind. By the way, that was a reference to me being dumb, but I was just joking. So this is what we do. We systematically untangle the world. We look at all these different events and say, okay, why is this going wrong? Why is this going right? We can enhance the good. We can remove the bad. When we impress these seeds or these scenes on our subconscious mind, they may not take effect instantly, but they will be affected. They will do that which you have sent out to do, right? So all we have to do is take the act and then move on. And then the awareness or God will move the world and move you to become that person. So untangle the world, one thing at a time. Don't try to just overlay everything. Although you could, certain statements you can use, certain things you can use one simple statement to override multiple of them. But I'm generally a little bit, so I'll do that if it comes down to 2 or 3 beliefs. Like for instance, if it's like, I can't hold on to money, money is hard for me to get, and money is elusive, or say I have these thoughts, what I could do is money comes to me easily, effortlessly, and perfectly, and I love holding on to money or something. I can do one thing, just like Neville even says. He says, if there's a lot of things you can say, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? But in this case, what we're trying to specifically do is take it away from this big generalizations, bring it back to the essence of how the world works, so that if we see something that we don't like, we're already armed and ready to change the world, and it will change. I do this every day. Even me writing things down. Now, I have a journal. You guys can't see it, but I write down sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 things a day. I'm just creative. It's not even by need a lot of times. It's just that, oh, this would make life better. This would make life easier. Or, oh, this happened. I need to change this. And life is dynamic. We come up with things on sometimes on a daily basis. But if you're struggling with relationships, if you're struggling with money, if you're struggling with depression, if you're struggling with happiness, do this. Do this. Do the specific actions. Take the time to disassemble or untangle this world and trace it back to your beliefs, because if you can replace them by imagining them, because it will uproot anything in effect that's opposite of it when you create the new, then you'll watch the world start to go the way that you want it to go. You'll always know what you have to do. It's not a matter of just being happy. It's not a matter of just hoping. It's taking these little actions that can have a huge impact on your life. And for my coaching clients and my viewers, there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of positive stories and testimonials as far as how these little things, writing these lists down, they've proved everything wrong that they knew about manifesting. It made manifesting so simple, and they got the things that they wanted with no limitation, because all they were focused on is within, never without. So anyway, thank you for watching this. If you did, subscribe, bell icon, and check out these videos that I'm about to post that are going to be right here. Thank you.